Youngstown Sheet and Tube Company versus Sawyer was decided in 1952. Now, there's three things that you should know about this case. Number one, it has to do with federal executive power. Number two, the Supreme Court sides with the steel industry, but instead of reading the majority opinion, you should read the concurring opinion by Justice Robert Jackson. And number three, if the President of the United States is going to act, he should act pursuant to a specific law passed by U.S. Congress to have the greatest chance of withstanding a constitutional challenge to his authority. Now, this case took place in 1952. The United States was involved in the Korean War. Now, some say President Truman started this war to show McCarthy that he was tough on communism and the enemies within, but I'll leave that to the historians. But a labor dispute breaks out in the steel industry, and the union threatens to go on strike. Truman says this can't stand, and so he issues an executive order nationalizing the U.S. steel industry, saying that in a time of war, we need our steel. Well, they filed a lawsuit and said this was unconstitutional. The U.S. Supreme Court took a look at the case and said, well, the president wasn't acting according to any specific statute passed by Congress. Therefore, that's not any basis for his authority. And number two, his claim that he was acting under the implied powers granted to him under Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, or as commander-in-chief during this time of war, that was just too broad, almost dictatorial powers. And so they struck it down. For those studying this particular issue, I recommend you read the concurring opinion by Justice Jackson. Some say it's the best written on this particular topic, and I read most of it, and it's pretty darn good.